Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think that we can say today that probably all, if not most, of the members of this committee are really concerned with the violence in Venezuela, the humanitarian crisis in Venezuela affecting thousands of families that has led to an unprecedented migration of Venezuelans throughout the region. And of course, the presence of Hezbollah there as well. I myself have co-sponsored legislation to address that particular problem. But Mr. Abrams, many of our allies have expressed concern of your appointment to deal with this problem. Some have characterized it as being perhaps like appointing Exxon to lead a discussion on the Green New Deal, or maybe even appointing MBS to lead a discussion on fairness in journalism and accessibility to journalism. Do you feel that your past actions in Iran-Contra have permanently impaired your ability to fairly and transparently deal in the region, since we all know the outcome of what happened then? Do you feel that that's a major problem, baggage that you bring to the table?
I don't, and I've been doing this job for 2 whole weeks, and I can tell you that members of Congress have raised it. No Latin American of any nationality with whom I have dealt has raised it. We've had lots and lots of discussions about how we're going to promote democracy in Venezuela. I guess I should say, since I've been attacked now 3 times in my own defense, if you look at the Reagan record of 8 years, when we came in, there were military dictatorships
Mr. Abrams,
all
that's not
over
an attack. That's a fact of history.
And when we left, in country after country after country, there had been transitions that we supported. Chile is a very good example. So I think it's actually a record of promoting democracy, and I think a lot of Latins know that.
I differ with you. I think it's a fact of history. We should not dig our heads in the sand and make believe that this never happened, because it did, and you were at the helm of that. And
I was at the helm of promoting democracy in Latin America.
You may want to characterize it that way, but I don't. I think you were involved in the Iran-Contra deal, and I think that permanently damages you to be a fair and impartial arbiter in a conflict that's leading to humanitarian crisis of unprecedented levels in Venezuela. So I want to get to my next question, which is, do you believe that there could be a peaceful diplomatic solution to this crisis? And if so, has our nation engaged the Vatican, the United Nations, Mexico, and Uruguay in their efforts to resolve this peacefully without any bloodshed?
Well, we've had discussions with the Vatican, with the UN. I spoke to the Secretary General actually yesterday morning. Mexico and Uruguay are somewhat different because they have a different approach to this, which is the kind of dialogue with Maduro that has been tried and failed in past years, tried by the Venezuelans who are pushing for democracy in their own country.
And the opposition has, in some instances, asked to be armed. Do you feel that that's a viable way for protecting themselves, or do you feel that arming the opposition will lead to a civil war?
I think it's a terrible idea. I think that the question of security for well, it's not really the opposition. It's now, in our view, the legitimate government of Venezuela and the National Assembly. Security for them, security for individuals like interim President Guaido, is a real issue. But the solution to it is replacing this government with the interim government and then allowing the people of Venezuela to choose their government.
Finally, do you feel that there are currently any individuals in the armed forces or in government that are applicable to receive Magnitsky Act levels of sanctions and
yes,
action?
I think there are.
And are you willing to share those?
Not in a public hearing. I think we need to go over the names again, but certainly some of the people rise to that level of human rights violations.
Mr. Chairman, let me just again reiterate my concern for a potential human crisis emerging in the region, potential civil war, famine, if we don't go the diplomatic way and abandon our old bad ways of Iran-Contra.
Thank you, Mr.